You think you know who you are because a name answers for you. It travels through documents, conversations, and plans. You hear it and respond. Yet you did not choose it, and it was not argued into truth. It was given, repeated, and accepted. Ibn Arabi asked whether such naming creates identity or only points to what already is. He treated a name not as decoration but as participation in a deeper order. If the name were different, would the path of your life differ as well? Or does every sound that tries to define you circle around a prior reality that cannot be altered by speech? You consider this carefully. If the name is more than a word, what is it doing to you now? If it is less, why does it command you? Ibn Arabi explained that naming is an act with ontological weight. To name is to acknowledge a placement within the whole. The act does not invent being. It recognizes a mode of being. A name is a key to an order that precedes the key. You reflect. When you call something by a concept, you commit to a way of relating to it. The mind reorganizes around that commitment. Patterns follow. Attention follows. Action follows. If so, your personal name is a program you inherit and then run. But is it the source code or only the interface? Does the interface shape the user, or does it only reveal the user's current function? Ibn Arabi taught that reality unfolds through the beautiful names, the compassionate, the wise, the subtle, the manifest, and others. These are not decorations of the divine. They are modes of disclosure. To exist is to be a locus where a name operates. Human beings are distinctive because multiple names intersect in them. You consider this frame. If you enact compassion, the name of compassion is active through you. If you enact clarity, the name of clarity speaks in your understanding. Your personal name matters, but these names matter more. They do not describe your private story. They articulate how the real emerges in experience. Can you sense which name is active in you without reducing it to a label? You often confuse social naming with essential identity. You are called by family terms, professions, and affiliations. They serve coordination, not ultimacy. Ibn Arabi warned that this confusion creates a veil. The mind protects an arrangement of words and mistakes that arrangement for the self. You test this. When one label is removed, the sense of I persists. When roles shift, a subtler awareness remains. If awareness remains while descriptions change, which is primary? You begin to notice how the ego defends sounds and statuses as if they were being itself. What if the one defending is only another construct? What if the defender is also being defended? For Ibn Arabi, divine knowledge is not passive observation. It is a creative disclosure. When the real knows a being under a particular name, that being stands forth as that mode. Existence is the event of being known. You reflect. Perhaps destiny is not an external plan pressed upon you. Perhaps it is the gradual recognition of how you are known. Your deepest traits feel less like possessions and more like permissions. They are permissions granted by a knowing that precedes you. If the real knows you under a certain name, then your task is not fabrication, but recognition. What you call fate may be your resistance to recognition or your surrender to it. You review your daily movements. Each judgment, intention, and response announces a name in operation. Awareness functions as a register for these operations. It notes, aligns, or resists. When you answer confusion with patience, a name of patience governs the moment. When you answer complexity with discernment, a name of wisdom governs the moment. You are not manufacturing these names. You are hosting them. sometimes clearly, sometimes with distortion. Therefore, the urgent question shifts from who am I to what is being expressed here. If the register is unbiased, it reveals the active name. If it is biased, it reports noise. Which report are you trusting? Ibn Arabi marked a decisive transition from ownership to service. Ownership says, my virtue. Service says, this virtue is entrusted to me. Ownership isolates and competes. Service aligns and obeys. You trace the consequences. If a quality is mine, pride and fear arise. Pride in success, fear of loss. If a quality is entrusted, gratitude and responsibility arise. Gratitude for access, responsibility for right use. The same action changes meaning under these two stances. The name acts through you either way, but the ethical texture differs. Which stance clarifies intention? Which stance reduces conflict? If the name belongs to the real, then your role is stewardship. What does stewardship require from you now? Destiny, under this view, is flexible in significance, though firm in ground. Events appear. Their arrangement may not change, but their interpretation can. Ibn Arabi's teaching suggests that awareness reconfigures relation to the event by aligning with the name in play. You recognize that a difficulty can manifest firmness, patience, or insight, depending on how you respond. This does not romanticize hardship. It clarifies agency. The real does not shift with your mood, but your access to a name can widen or narrow. You ask, when meaning changes, does destiny change? If destiny includes meaning, then yes. If destiny is only a sequence, then no. Which definition serves understanding? Ibn Arabi finally directs attention beyond all names to the essence. Names differentiate. Essence does not. Names allow relation. Essence grounds relation. You consider the implication. If realization culminates in non-differentiation, then even the most exalted names are provisional. They are true as expressions, not final as limits. To settle in a name is to stop short. To use a name as a path back to the one is to complete the function of naming. In that recognition, the question, which name am I, relaxes. The real is not another object of thought. It is the condition in which thought occurs. What, then, is left to defend? You gather the argument into practice. First, observe your reflex to protect labels. Second, notice which quality is actually operating now, independent of preference. Third, release ownership of that quality and adopt stewardship. Fourth, test meaning. Ask what alignment with the active name would change at this moment. Ibn Arabi's guidance supports this discipline. He invites recognition, not performance. Service, not display. You do not need a new biography. You need accuracy of the mode of being presently expressed. Repetition forms a habit. Habit clarifies stance. Stance stabilizes awareness. Awareness permits alignment. Alignment dissolves conflict between personal agenda and the name's function. With this sequence, inquiry becomes a method. Which step is most difficult for you to sustain? Return to the initial question. Can a name change your destiny? You now see two answers. Your given name does not command being. It situates you in a network of reference. The divine name's command begins by disclosing how the real appears through you. Destiny shifts when you recognize and serve that disclosure. What you call I becomes less a possession and more a trust. The seeker who insisted on authorship loses urgency. The servant who listens gains clarity. Ibn Arabi's ancient secret is spare and exact. You are called by the real, and your life is the reply. When the reply is clear, destiny is clear. When the reply is confused, destiny feels confused. What reply are you giving now?